Good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Dark Roast. I'm Donna Stroll, and I am here with the always lovely and talented Rose Short. And today's topic is going to be about affiliate marketing in the real world. So how to make money at conferences and networking events, because we don't talk about this, and I know that it can be very stressful for some people.
Yeah, network marketing also kind of gets a bad rap, but there is a lot of power behind it, which is why so many people do it and so many networking events exist.
Yeah. So, goal is to turn your real world meetups into an affiliate marketing revenue or an online marketing revenue. Like we say, we sort of combine the both of those because it works for either or. So the first thing is, why do live events matter for affiliate marketers or online marketers, since we live in the digital world most of the time? Because number one, real people means real trust, right? They can see you. And crazy, but it's true, right?
Yeah. Well, especially in the AI age that we're in, that's going to become even more powerful, I think, for people who don't.
Absolutely, because they don't have to go, is that real? Are you a real person? Are you really saying those things? So that's going to be huge. The more we step away from reality, the more that real touch, that live interaction is going to matter. Conversion rates are often higher when people can meet the marketer. That's why going live is also important, right? Because you're being more authentic. They can see you and they know that you're actually a real person behind the content that you're promoting, right? And honestly, it's just a great way to stand out, right? If you're going to events, if you're going to affiliate marketing events or local events, even in your community, because most communities will have Rotary Club events and local business events and stuff like that, that you can actually tap into. It doesn't have to be a major conference. It can be something small. It can be something local.
It can be something that's part of attracting your tribe, right? So when I first started real estate, I joined the Arizona Goth Society because I like Gothic architecture and clothing and style. And I would host and network at some of their events, and it was a blast.
Actually, so, and in a situation like that, when they are looking for somebody who's a realtor, now you're there in their mind because you're part of their tribe. And there's probably not a lot of people out there who necessarily mesh with that. So if you have a hobby or something that you're really interested in and you're in that group and they have events, that's an excellent opportunity for you to network, let people know what you do, what you sell. And they already know you. So that's an excellent opportunity. So there are obviously some strategies that you need to follow.
Yep. Top one being, of course, conferences in your niche, right? So if you're not investing in gold, maybe don't go to a gold investing conference. But if you're really into taxidermy, then you look at things that are going on with taxidermists. Both related to your audience as well. So you're talking about helping single moms make money online. You're probably not going to the train store talking to the old vets that are there trying to relive their childhood, right? So make sure that you're still tapping into who you want to talk to. When you go into these events, then everyone does networking nights, but make sure you're going to ones that actually people are showing up, people are excited about, right? Not the ones that are in a hotel basement that are sketch. You get there and you're like, oh God, is this right? Go to search for local business and entrepreneur groups, groups. YPL groups are another great one that are usually hyper local, and those groups often try to make sure they don't have a lot of overlapping people. So they'll typically only allow one painter, one plumber, one whatever. So if you're the one marketer or one AI strategist or whatever it is, that could be really powerful.
Yeah. And also another place you can look at is your local library, because they host events all the time too. And you want to make sure that you are prepping your assets, right? So whatever you're going to be bringing to these events, you want to make sure you've got it all down pat and ready to go. So very short URL that you're going to be able to hand out easily, QR code to offer your main bundle, maybe a simple lead magnet. It doesn't have to necessarily be in paper. It can be a link that you provide people, or it can be, you have a sheet or something like that. And updated business cards. I know it seems really weird, business cards in this day and age, but they do actually work, especially for in-person events. And there are apps now too, where it's basically your business card on your phone and you're just tapping to somebody else's phone if they're open to that. But it doesn't hurt to have some physical as well on hand, because not everybody's going to want to have that digital touch. They're just going to want something physical that they can take with them, because remember, not everybody's in the same place, right? And so you might be digital and they may be fine with digital, but they're just not comfortable connecting a phone with a stranger, right? You're getting to know them. So they may not want to have that next level touch for them yet. So your business card is a way to just give them your information without it being super stressful. And it's a good way to have your QR code right there on top of it as well. So that makes it a little bit easier.
QR code's also a way that you can stand out, right? If you like making jewelry, put your QR code on a bracelet and pass it out. Or Apple is one of the online ones that also they sell a watch type thing that has the NFL, whatever, the conveyance, so they can put their phone to your bracelet instead of your phone if they want to do that. But there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. But this is where knowing who you are is really important, right? Which sounds really simple. But if you're having a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden they say, well, who are you and what do you do? Are you prepared for that? Most people are not. They start tripping over their words. They get really nervous. So, having your who are you and what do you do and who do you serve prepared, but not mechanical. It's going to take some practice, but it's very, very powerful. Yes. Because it shows you know what you're talking about, but also you're not going to just go on about yourself for half an hour.
The elevator pitch, they call it the elevator pitch because basically the concept is you get in with an elevator with someone, you shake hands, you say, hi, oh, how are you? So what do you do? And you need to be able to get that across before you get to the floor that they're on. And they're not going to the top floor, right? You've got about 30 seconds. So take that 30 seconds, distill what you do, use your tools, right? You can pop that into one of the chat programs that you're comfortable with and pop in who you are and what you do. And you can make it as long and drawn out as you need to and tell them you need an elevator pitch and then refine until it's something that sounds like you and that you're confident saying. You can make them a little bit longer and a little bit shorter, but so that maybe you have one that's got a little bit more information, but one that's super quick that you can then elaborate on later. This is important no matter what business you're in, right? In business strategy, they teach you this all the time. Even if you're an author, you need to have an elevator pitch for your book. So that when people say, well, what's your book about? You don't want to give them a 2-hour synopsis, right? You want to give them the blurb that's on the back, something that's going to hook them in, give them just enough information that they want more. It's a panel card. It's not a full brochure, right? So that's, I think you need to sort of think about it that way. Like when someone hands you a piece of information, you want something that's going to give you enough information to pique your interest, right? So, and then once you're on site, we've done the prep, we're ready to go, we're feeling good about it. Now what do we do, right? Rule number 1, be a human. Have you ever walked into a situation where someone's doing something new and they are 100% sales? Like the second that you walk in, they are glommed onto you. They're trying to pitch you. They're pushing you, all that stuff. And you're like looking around going, okay, well, how the hell do I get out of here? You don't want to be that guy, right? I've back in writing, way back in our promotion, one of my people that I was working with, he was really bold and brash and everything else. And he was a salesman, but he never knew when to turn it off. And we would get to the after party and he would still be pitching and still be pushing. And it's like, everybody would like scurry away. And it's like, you got to calm down. We did that part already. We're over that part now. Now is the part for just getting to know and chat and just be a person, right? So you want to make sure you smile. Yes, I know we all hate being told to smile, but the reality is that you're in an event, right? So your smile makes you approachable. Now, it doesn't mean you have to have a smile, but you just recognize that if you're standing there and you've got a natural RBF, you might have to work a little bit harder to make yourself more approachable, because you want people to approach you, right? And like I said, don't be pitching the whole time. You need to take a breath. You need to read the room. And the other thing is ask questions. You're there to network. So find out what other people are doing. Talk to them. Show real interest. Don't just stand there staring at them, waiting for your opportunity to talk.
That one is so important. It gets skipped over all the time. And you have a quick demo of your dashboard or your product or something on your phone if it's not something that you physically have on you, right? Content, right? Everyone's sharing their Instagrams and whatnot now. You can link to your Instagram videos that show what you showcase your main products or anything like that, and have them follow you right then and there. Offer to email them a resource that gives you the opportunity to get their email address and repeat it back to them, right? Because when you repeat back, this gives you an opportunity to verify. It's something that we used to do in real estate. So when you repeat back the email, repeat it back incorrectly, one letter changed or something like that, because if they're really interested, they're going to correct you. And if they're not really interested, they're going to let it go. And then you're just going to be spinning your wheels.
It's like it's a double opt-in in real time.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, of course, afterwards, you want to make sure that you're following up, right? Drip campaigns, whatever it might be. Follow up by a text or email. Hey, it was great meeting you. This is whoever from whatever event. Like, make sure that they understand, especially if you're texting them for the first time. A lot of times people will be like, oh, hey, how you been? Oh, this is Alicia, remember? And I'm like, yeah. You tell them, hey, it was great meeting you at this event. I'm the girl that did this when it was this. It'll just help solidify whether or not that is going to go anywhere. And then this should all be value added, right? It shouldn't be a pitch. Hey, we were talking about XYZ. This resource came to mind. It's completely free. Can I send it to you? Things like that. And then from there, you can figure out if maybe you want to do a collaboration with them, or if they're somebody who's a fit for whatever product you're an affiliate for, any of those things. A QR code doesn't have to just link to your information either. It can link to a link tree or a landing page. You have a one-time offer specifically, for people from the event.
Great way to use discount codes and stuff like that. If you're going to an event and then you just want to apply that discount code just specifically for those event people, that's a great way to put that VIP feeling for people as well, you know?
Yep. And if you're a person who likes to take notes and is really good at it, or who recorded the entire keynote, or there's a bunch of speeches going on and you have permission, you could also send out a recap video or a newsletter of like, hey, I'm not officially part of the event, but I'm a note taker. So here's just a recap of the key points that I took away. If anybody's interested, here was the names of all the speakers, etc., and send that out. And then you can have a link to your website, whatever, on the bottom as well. So again, you're adding value, you're not pushing.
And it's, again, by doing that, you're solidifying some of those connections that you made, and maybe actually expanding some of them as well, simply because maybe they weren't really focused or they weren't really sure how serious you were. And now they're like, oh, they actually really cared about the event and they cared about what was going on. Now I'm going to take a double look at what they are actually doing. So those are just nice little things that you can do. And then you want to make sure you track everything. That's why creating a very specific landing page is a great way to have a custom affiliate link, so that when people are going there, you know exactly where they came from, right? It helps you also know what worked and what didn't. Right. So did that time that you spent, was it valuable? I thought it was going to be valuable. Either you're going to learn what didn't work, or you're going to get something valuable financially from it as well, or connections. And like we mentioned earlier, it's not just about selling. Maybe you're looking for collaborations, right? Maybe you're looking to work with a business partner who has a reach that you don't have. So, or maybe you're looking for somebody who's going to do some more of the work behind the scenes stuff that you didn't have, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be all about sales. It can be about helping you build your business too. So that's, having those custom affiliate links or custom QR codes and being able to track those is going to be really beneficial to you to see if it was where it worked and where it didn't.
You don't have to have a fancy, excuse me, autoresponder or anything like that. That QR code can link to a Google Doc. If it's the realtor that I used to work with is really good at this. I love her. She's amazing. But she would do community yard sales. And so she'd have a QR to gather the names and addresses and everything of everybody who was willing to sign up for it. And then she would go to each of their little yard sale events and try to find at least one thing to buy just to get her face out there even more and, let them know, like, hey, like, I am interested in this community. Yes, I'm a realtor who lives here, but I do care about you as well. It was just a great way to build solidarity within her community so that when people were going to go sell, it was like, oh, wait, the neighbor right over there is a realtor.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's smart. That's, those are increasing your touch points. We forget sometimes when we're working online, because it is such a wide area and we can really expand and everything else, that we forget sometimes that in person actually does matter. Because, I can talk to anybody around the world. You absolutely can. And you can go to conventions anywhere around the world as well. I've traveled all across North America for different conventions. Like while I was in Canada, I've been to multiple states for various conventions. And that's how I solidified who I was in people. They got to know me, they got to know my personality, and that was part of the draw to, the things that I was publishing and who the company that I was building there, and reaching out to people, and they got to know who I was. So they actually, even when things weren't necessarily huge, they still wanted to work with us simply because they met us and they knew us and they liked what we did. And so, whereas if I had been doing it all online, yes, I have a personality there, but knowing that what they see online matches who I was in person made a huge impact on people, right? And I think that that's important when you're doing this. And there are lots of affiliate marketing events. There's some really big ones that you can go and look at and research out and see what works for you. So maybe you're viewing this not from North America. Maybe you're somewhere in Europe or Asia. There's events that are there too, right? So it doesn't have to necessarily be limited to North America. So,
yeah. And if you need help, and we're going to get into this in a couple of weeks, sometimes these events are a great way to meet a coach or a mentor or somebody that's going to help propel you, past your roadblocks. So it doesn't have to be even, you can go there with the intent of maybe getting one or two sales, especially if you have a physical product. But, you might also have the intent to find a mentor or a coach and go from there. So that's, again, where it's important to listen to other people and not go in strictly with the idea of selling.
Yeah. If you go in with blinders on, you're going to miss a lot. I always say that when you go to any type of convention or networking event, go in with no expectations. Go in with an idea of what you'd like to happen, but don't go in with expectations, because if you do have a very set idea of what you want it to do, you might miss out on some really valuable information, valuable connections. Maybe you see somebody over there and you're like, that's not my target market, but you don't know that, right? You assume that based on what what you're building, but you don't know if Tom over there who's 70 isn't going to be super interested in what you have to say. So don't close your mind. Make sure your mind is open and that you're listening and being willing to communicate with a lot of people to see what's going on. And I know that's going to be difficult for some introverts, but you're going to have to, if you want it to work, you do have to be willing to talk to people. But the nice thing is that you don't have to hold court. You talk to one person at a time, right?
Yeah.
So even if you're an introvert, you're only talking to one person at a time. So,
yeah. And you can bring a friend for moral support, because sometimes your friend is also your hype man and can force you to talk to other people. My partner is very good at this. But again, talk to them, not at them, right? So common pitfalls we see is that pick me energy that like nobody wants, right? So don't be that person. Don't try to, be talking to everyone at once or be the center of attention. Talk with people. Be prepared. Again, business cards, QRs, social media links, whatever it is. Follow up, follow up, follow up. But don't be pushing, don't oversell, which is kind of a contradiction. But, if you have a good drip campaign in place, it's really easy.
I mean, the following up is confirming that touch point, right? You're solidifying who you are in their mind. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're just, throwing your sales pitch at them again, right?
Yeah.
So
and be careful with your verbiage on that too, because people don't really like it when you say like, "Hey, just checking in," or "Hey, just following up," or what's the other one? I can't remember now, but be very careful with your verbiage.
Because you can look that up as well.
Yeah.
Again, these are all things that you can look up for further information. These are your touch points. So again, these are your bullet points that you're going to go through. And if you need more clarification, by all means, research, right? And don't forget that not everyone came to be pitched to, right? Some people are there literally to find out information, to get to know people and stuff like that. They're not there to be sold to. They're there to educate themselves or to find a mentor or whatever. So you can suss the conversation out, listen to people. Again, listen to people, and you will find out fairly quickly whether or not they're there if they're open or not. And you can even try sliding something softly. You can do a very soft pitch and see if they pick it up. And if they are like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm here just because I wanted to see this specific person." "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear what they have to say as well." That again, research. If you're going to a convention, research who your speakers are and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So, and don't let social anxiety or being an introvert or those kinds of things stop you. I mean, these are roadblocks. I know that that's easy to say, but I'm terrified every time I go to do public speaking. It's not like I can get up in front of a crowd and speak really easily, but I do it, and I do it often. And every time I get that right here, and then I just work through it, because the value on the other side is more important. Now, obviously, if you have crippling social anxiety, this might not be something for you, and that's completely fine, right? But if you're just, I'm not real comfortable around people, like you said, bring a backup, bring your wingman, let them help you ease into those conversations. Remember, you don't have to talk to everybody at once. You can choose to talk to one person at a time. Look for people who are maybe also wallflowers and go talk to them, right? It doesn't have to be super difficult unless you choose to make it super difficult.
Yeah. And, not everyone that's there is going to be super successful already. Basically you're going to be in a room full of a lot of people at different wealth points, holding overpriced lattes and wondering when the lunch break is.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Go into it with a good attitude. Like you said, no expectations, focus on connections over sales. And it'll become a lot more successful and a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah. And everything falls apart. Just compliment them on their shoes or their dress or their hair, just do something nice, right? It doesn't have to be challenging. It doesn't have to be difficult. And as always, like I said before, if you guys have questions or you unsure, you can reach out to us and do your research, right? That's the key thing, right? So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Just go out there, find your networking events, and just take the dive, right? And if someone tries to pitch to you in a bathroom stall, you can leave. You can just say "narp" and peace out.
Oh, I love it. We all know that person too.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
And if you want more straight talk, beginner-friendly, BS-free online and affiliate marketing tips, make sure you subscribe. We drop new episodes every Friday because structure keeps us from falling into chaos.
And don't forget the notification bell, because YouTube apparently needs 3 separate requests before it will let members know that we actually exist.
And if you want to hang out with us elsewhere, all of our links are in the description. We got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, basically all the places you go when you're supposed to be working.
So thanks for spending your time with us today. Go refill your mug, go build something awesome, and we will see you next week.